Ciao! Ciao, nice people! Welcome to the stream! How it's going? Yeah, I feel much better now. We can go back on Twitch on RPG Maker. Yeah, it's Twitch on RPG Maker or RPG Maker on Twitch. Depends on the point of view. Let me just... Here, let's see if I can also start the stream on the other platform. Oh, here we are. And hello Firehawk, welcome to the stream, nice to see you there. Last time we programmed here Twitch chat into the game. We have RPG Waldorf, Firehawk, and that's it. I wonder if, just for the sake of testing, if I want to remember who joined or not, but I don't think it's necessary. Let me see if it still works. I type fork and I walk to the fork. Makes sense. I'm in a game. Oh yeah, I love it as well. There's a limit on the steps though, but because it's based on how I coded it. Let's see, where is it? Twitch map interaction. The solution is pretty simple. The movement is a little weird. It's not even here. I think I coded it directly when you receive... No, wait. Directly where you receive the commands. Maybe here? Here. This is the movement code. And the movement type is a little rough because it repeats every step the movement towards the direction. There is no pathfinding. The pathfinding is step by step. And I force 20 steps. I could force 50 steps, and of course you stop on the last step. That means you will always reach a destination, usually. Oh yeah, it works. Nice. Now, the thing I want to do is... Oh, there's Riggy. Hello, I see Riggy in the game. Here's everyone. Hello, Riggy. Welcome. Put me in, coach. You're already in. Oh, that's cool. Seeing everyone there. It's like Super Smash Brothers. Everyone is there. Get in. Now, there is a big issue though on the design like this. Like, there is one screen. So, what if everyone should go above? What if the boss is above? How do we even know that you need to go to the boss? Here it's a design choice. We could make that the character that is further in the dungeon, because remember, it's not always above, could be on the right, on the left, below. Maybe the character that is further in the dungeon defines the upper direction of the camera. Jump. You know what? We could make comments like those. Even last time they suggested me comments like jumps, hugging even. We can definitely do that, but first I want to design the camera. Since there's a lot of people, we could do like a middle ground. Like if a lot of people are in one direction, the camera will choose that direction instead. Goblin, no! Don't trigger the goblin! Now we have to fight! Unfortunately, I have to have a small... Oh yeah, I made a change now. Unless you type anything in chat, you won't attack. That's better, otherwise... well... In the worst case, people spam. In the best case, people just chat in chat and they automatically fight. Oh yeah. Fight! Later I have to decide about targets, of course. Also, let me nuke those, please. I'm not a... Never mind, no nuke there, no nuke, it's fine, it's fine. Oh, the idea is... how many... I think we should note down the options. Also, I really want the game to be playable in the background, but unfortunately, I need to find a good plugin for that. I'm not using Visustella because Visustella messes up everything. I don't have a good relationship with Visustella, to be fair. So let's see. The idea is camera movement. Also, why doesn't my nuke work? Nuke. Ah, okay, now we are talking. Why didn't? Ah, could be that if the game is stopping in the background, it may eat some inputs. Though hopefully it will be solved if the game. Yeah, that's probably it, right? No. No, because the game connects to the Twitch bot. To the local bot. To the local server. And the local server stores information until the game asks for them. So no, it cannot be a issue about interrupting the game. So the idea is this. Camera movement. We have first. I'm typing ideas, but I'm not guaranteeing they are all good. Could be that the camera focuses on random character. Random player. Of course, this is awful to play. Because, like, it can be even confusing. I'm pretty sure. Second option is the middle ground, how it's called, the median of players. Or we can have the for test player. I feel like the last one is the best one, but I wonder if there are better options. Like, maybe I could be the camera, maybe. I think this could be extra. But I kinda want the game to be played on its own. Or we can make. Maybe based on. Maybe we can have a command. But people may spam it, so it's not a good thing. Any other idea? I believe I can fly. No, that's the wrong time period. I believe I can fly too much on YouTube. I don't even know why it's relevant right now. I'm sorry. My mind was flying, I suppose. That only makes sense. Wait, about flying. Huh. No, I believe it's fine. We can have something like relevance. Like, we can assign every character a relevance. And based on the relevance, the camera will focus not on them, but on specific spots. Yeah, relevance of spots. Maybe every spot has a relevance. Some spots have an inherited intrinsic relevance. For example, treasure chests have a higher relevance. And if someone is near one of them, it focuses there. And boss is even a higher relevance. The issue though, is players that are back in the dungeon may not be able to reach the later spot. Would be cool to split the visual of the screen, but that's way too much. So I believe we can do even something like Super Mario. New Super Mario. Where in New Super Mario, when you play locally, or even other games where you play locally, you cannot leave the screen. Though that's not really something we can do, since people will not collaborate. Not everyone will collaborate. People will go AFK. A big mess, of course. It's a big mess. a big gibber. So I like the idea of something like a middle of first player and we can do a middle ground between first player and New Super Mario Bros. Where the camera will give a priority to who is further in the dungeon, but will not focus on the player who will rush towards the next part. Or, guys, I have an idea. Game mechanic. We can make the camera scroll a game mechanic. That's a line of philosophy I have. When in a game I have an issue I don't know how to solve, I usually try to merge it with another issue I have. Like, for example, if I have two issues in the gameplay, sometimes I try to see if there is a solution by merging them together. I don't really have an example, but it happened a lot of times. Like, we can have a game mechanic about progressing the visual of the screen. For example, we can have an orb to move forward. Or maybe like how it's called, escort the, how it's called in Overwatch, right? When in Overwatch you escort the carriage. I don't think it's called carriage, right? Because what if you lose the point? It's a miscarriage. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, but Overwatch escort. I should not look for Overwatch escort. I should write escort mission, but luckily I'm fine. Payload! That's what I was looking for. The name Payload. Though again, pro tip, don't look for Overwatch escort on Google. Escort the payload, I like this thing. Well, escort mission is not a good one. Also, we should make one that is interesting, one that is fun for the game. So, just having one for the sake of moving the camera is not the best one. We should add a mechanic to it. For example, like... for example, we can have enemies blocking the path, but people might try to avoid the enemy and go gather the treasures. People might want to ignore the enemies and be the first to get a treasure. Other than that, like the main idea is escorting a payload, or not escorting a payload by removing stuff in front of them. Though I don't see what's the best way to make it fun. Let me try. So, we have a literal cart here, so that's the best escort mission we can make, right? For example, I have an idea. Like, for example, there could be stuff in the way. Let's move this one better. Well, I'm not making the map from scratch, but this could be in the way. And someone might want to get the fire or orb that is somewhere. Or maybe there are multiple in the way, so people need to... Yeah, I like the idea. Like, there is this one in the way, there is the grass in the way. That's not grass. The grass in the way. And people need to get the right item to destroy them. And I believe it can work because people will coordinate. Or need to coordinate. If they don't, even better. It's funnier. So they say, okay, I'm gonna go for the ice thing, you go for the fire one. Also, we can have like enemies coming from the front attacking the payload. So you are forced to not waste time by gathering items. Also, because if you gather an item, you are slower. We can work with that. I like the idea. I believe having a gameplay mechanic around the camera is necessary. Otherwise it's confusing. Otherwise I cannot have a standard way to show everything. I just need to find a story reason for that, but who cares really? Who cares? Okay, so we have a payload, we have the blocks, we have enemies that came from the front. Anything else we can add? We can add switches. This is advanced though. We can have switches and dead ends. For example, if someone really wants the treasure chest in one side, then it can trigger the switch. People need to organize to not trigger the switch more than once. That will be fun. And then reach a different spot, which can be a dead end or 2 different endings for a dungeon. Maybe, yeah, different paths for a dungeon. Like, for example, imagine a path full of monsters and one full of treasures. And the chat struggles to have people fix struggle to have the people stop spamming the level. That would be fun. That means, though, we should have doors that are unlocked by the payload, right? For example, this one is unlocked only if the payload passes through there. It's the easiest way to avoid the users being blocked only by the camera. So they will be able to see the treasure, but they will not be able to reach it. So there's not the rule of whatever I see I can reach it. I can try to reach it, of course. Okay, I like the idea more. We're doing well, to be fair. I'm glad I got this idea right away, because I believe it's very important to have it right now. That's the basis. Another thing we should have, like, of course we can add extra mechanics later. For example, we can have a broken track, and people in chat have to spam something to unlock it. I don't know. People in chat have to spam something like repair. Though it can be cheated by someone that just copy and paste his repair. It should be a time thing then. Like, if someone types repair, it goes there and stays there. And takes its time. If there are more people there, it takes less time. Of course, it's a parameter that needs to be decided beforehand. Because if there are too many people, this becomes very easy. So that means there should be a scalable way for removing the obstacles. We can make that the obstacles have multiple hit points, at least further in the game. It's more scalable because if there are 200 players, let's say 200, the thing takes 20 fireballs. So you go here and you grab the fireball and you walk slowly all the way there. When there are like 3 viewers, then it needs only 1. I like the idea. And we can definitely expand it later. So let's see. Let's make it less painful than possible, please. It's not easy, I know, but we need to... It's vital that we make this thing expandable for the future. Or even, especially, replicable in other maps without too much effort. First of all, how will it move? It needs to move on a track. How the game will identify the track? We are gonna use numbers. Which number is for the track? The 6-7 is ready for the spawn point, so we cannot use it anymore. We can have the number tag 1. I believe it's the vital one. Here. The 1 is the path. One path goes here and the other goes here. Okay, there's a split. We should note down the numbers for everything. Like, a 3 could be a split path. Though, it's important to be clear on which split path. Because this one goes left and right, but there could be one that goes down and up. Or not only on the side, one can go up and the other right. So the game needs to know which split path we are at. And I believe it's better to just have it on event tags. We could use multiple tags for that. Which are the best one though? Because we have a lot of combinations, right? We can go left, right, up, down. Even 3 we can have. I don't think I want 3. We can have 2 and 2 if we want. Also, how do you decide 3 with a lever? So, let's see. For left and up, for example, we can have it like a clock. We can have it like a clock. So, for example... Oh, is there no better way? We can have that the game just checks. It reads. We can... I think it's better like this. If there is a split path, we have a tag 3. And when the cargo, when the payload sees that there is a floor 3, it reads the event which is on top of it. And based on that, we can read the note. Option 1, option 2. I think it's fine. Option 1. And we can have a number. It's easier to see. 4 is left. How do I have multiple like this? Option 2. 6. That's how you make tags, right? I forgot. How do you read tags? I swear, here, destination goblin, which is not even necessary now. Let's see, event queue. Yeah, here directly defines the event with a name, right? How do you read event tags? I always forget about it. I should have notes about it. Let's see. Something like this. Aha! The meta. Where is the meta? Let's see if we can test it. So the event number 3 is the fork. No, it's number 6. Let's see. Events 6 meta option 1. Oh, it joined with the other one. To be fair, we could make an array out of this, which is probably better. We can make this. Options, we can make an array of 4 and 6. And hopefully should read the entire array. And later we can call JSON for it. And define options. Here you can see it's still a string. We can have ops, and we can have JSON.stringify ops. That's the opposite. I made the wrong one. JSON.parse ops. Here it is. And with parse we can just get the array of every direction the card will go. Usually it's 2, but just in case I want to be fancy and make a third one. You never know. So when the card realizes it's on a 3 number, it's gonna read the event it's on. Okay. Otherwise, the card will go onto the number. Now, how will it progress? Like, it will go forward. I think it should check if the next tile is the one. If it's not, it will check left and right. Which is not super straightforward, I feel like. It's sideways. Because to check the left and right of an event, I need to have a relative direction, not the absolute. Though for now, let's check the rest. We can have death 2 on the broken tracks. which is not right, because the broken tracks can be repaired. So it's important to read the event on top of it, not the number on it. Same with the blocks. So what we can do with a card is check the next tile. So in the case of the broken track, it can... Yeah, I could make that it takes damage. Right. So you can be greedy and get treasure chests, but you also need to repair the payload. I like the idea. Also, we should have levels. Yeah, I like the idea a lot. So first of all, we should work on the pathfinding of Mr. Kart. Mr. Mario, we can call it, because, yeah, Mario Kart. To be fair, no, I don't want to be sued. Let's call it Carlos. Carlos Kart. So, sounds better. It just is better. Oh, thanks for the follow, Drip Goku. Very based. That, never mind. We are trying to make a game where the chat can play, though we are still near the start. So the idea is, first of all, how do we trigger the card? Like, we trigger it on map start, I feel like. On map start, the card needs to move. So should be a event that runs in the background. Let's see where we can make it. Managing. We can have here map mechanics. And here is the payload. And the payload starts only when we activate the switch for it. Map management. Payload on. Here it is. When the payload is on, we have the thing move forward. First, we need to be sure of its direction, though. The direction is vital. Let's make it start here. Faced upwards. Payload. Now it's called payload. Okay. There's an issue we can solve later, which is what if someone gets stuck? I believe nobody gets stuck, to be fair, because they can just type the recent place and hopefully there is nothing body blocking the way. So even if you're off screen, you can just type payload and you will reach it. And we can make maybe an exception. When you type payload, you will reach it regardless. So you don't get stuck anywhere. I don't think it's possible, but just in case. Let's see. So the payload now, it's important to check the thing below. So to make it even easier, I will take a small plugin change I made. I'm starting to save every single edit I make on code because it makes so much easier to take and use it on future projects. For example, here I have this plugin utility calls, which is what it says. We should make here small utils, improvements. Oh, that's the wrong one. Touch integration here. We can have it on utils. So here we have it. Get next tile coordinates. Based on coordinates and direction. We can make an adaptation of it. We can make get next tile event. No. Now we can make it even better. Get next tile tag terrain. Event next tile terrain. Okay. So this from the event we get a terrain. And we just need event ID, which makes it easier, I suppose. Even better, we can make a intermediary version. Event next tile coordinates. So this one simply gets the event ID, calls the previous one we made with the x, y, and direction, and we return the value. We need to get the x, y, and direction. Let's see if I remember, or even better if I noted it down. Here we can have game up events. Game up events, event ID, and we get dot y, dot x, and dot direction, wherever it is. So we can have const event is game up events, event ID. And now from this we can just have event.x, event.y, and we recall this function that will tell us the coordinates of the tile in front of them. And the direction, I don't remember. Let's see. So, game up events, which number was it? Which number are you? The number 1. Hey! Another thing, we should not have the game check or which is the payload for every map, right? We don't want to define the payload for every map. Number 1, hey! We can have this one, so we can have ev.x, ev.y, and ev.direction. It's a function, okay. Here it is, and it's facing to down. Oh yeah, this is downwards. Oops. Other way. We should also make that when it reaches at the end, it will return back, unless it's unless it's the end of the road. We can make a dead end is the number 2. Okay. And we should be wary of the ends and the turn points. Though we can kinda guess. Okay. So we have everything now. We can have event.direction. And now from this we get, from the event ID, we get the coordinates it is about to move towards. So, since we know where it will move, let me show you. For example, we have the event here and we know it will move here. Now we need to check the number on this tile. Okay, we can see it's 1, but we are humans. So we need to check. First, we get the coordinates. Or even tile. And now from the coordinates we need to get the terrain tag. How do we get a terrain tag? Yeah, of course I don't remember. Let's ask the great Bible of RPG Maker code. GameMap.terrain tag xy. Easy enough. So we return GameMap.terrain tag of x and y. And so if we call this thing and we type the number 1, it will return us 1 again. Let's see. Event next tile terrain, not a did I save? Ah, no, I did not add the plugin. My bad. Okay. Should we make some order? Later. Definitely we should make some order though. Okay. Let me try again. So if we call it 0, Why 0? Is it facing the same way again? The other way again? It gets the next one. We give the direction. Event X, event Y. We should investigate closer. R. Luckily I discovered this incredible trick on RPG Maker. Can now stop the code here. And let's see. Call. We get event ID 1. It's right. We get a tile. So let's see. We get the event from those information. Now we got the tile 1732, which is this one, which has the number 1. Terrain tag. Wait. No, terrain tag is another thing. Terrain tag is the other thing. I need to get the region ID, not the terrain tag. The terrain tag is this one, which I never use. I used once, maybe. Though definitely more forgettable than the region ID. How was it called? Region ID. No. Region ID, yeah. I think it's written correctly. Okay. So now, save for other mistakes, which should not be possible, right? If we type this and 1, we get 1, because that's the terrain tag below it. Now, we should make something extra now, which is we need to check where is the next one. I believe it's easy, right? We need to check if the front one is 1, if the left one is 1, and if the right one is 1. Also, to be fair, we should also check the one is on too. So we can have event tile region ID without checking the next one. We check the one is standing on. So we can just have event data, and we say we check the terrain tag on the tile we are on. Now we can even make something better. We can have check direction towards a specific region ID, giving priority to the front. How do we do it? We can make a variation of this one. Wait, we could use this one. This one gets us the ID of the next tile. But we can input a direction. So we can use it like to check the left or the right. So we could, let's see. We could fake it and pretend like it. Okay, the thing we need now is we need to check, like in this corner, where to continue, on the left or the right. We don't know that the number is on the left. We need to check left and right. To check left, it's not easy because what is left? What is right? Left is the same coordinates. Subtract. It's also relative because it depends on the direction. So it's not super straightforward. Let me see. If it's not forward, we need to check left and right. Is there some sort of math formula? Because down is 2, 4 is left, 6 is right, 8 is up. I don't see any straightforward formula to it, right? No, I have no idea. Let's make it the best way. The easiest way. For example, we could fake here a direction, so we check the next tile in that direction. For example, if we know it's facing up, we can pretend to check left and right by pretending it's 4 and 5, 4 and 6 the direction. Though I don't see a pattern. If you're facing right, we need to check 8 and 2. If you're facing down, you need to check 4 and 6 again. Though we can make half of them. Like if you face up or down, or left and right, it's the same. So we just need 2 scenarios. Okay, that makes it easier. So, how do we do it? Let's see. I kinda want to make some variations here. I feel I'm a little worried if I make too many variations, it will not be practical. But I think I can work with that. We can have it here already, like check side. It's a little weird, but for example, if it's check side 0, it will work as intended. If it's check side 1, it will check the right. If it's check side -1, it will check the left. Let's see. I kind of don't like having to edit this one because I kind of want them immaculate, but we need it, okay? Direction is the event direction. Though, if check side is equal to 1, we need to check another direction. How do I... Is there a way to get the next rotation? I'm curious now. I'm curious. How does RPG Maker handle it? Because there is a command to rotate a character by 90 degrees. Let's see. Rotate 90. Here. Here it is. Turn left 90 degrees. Though I don't really want it to move. That's the thing, I don't want it to move. But maybe in the code it's written how the formula to turn something around. I hope it doesn't check case by case, right? So this will be the solution. Turn left is not here. Maybe on objects. Here. Here it is. What does it do? It goes case by case. Never mind. Never mind. I was hoping for something smart. I don't even know what I was expecting, but... Though we could copy this thing. And use it for our wicked purposes. We can have function get rotate. You have one for tuning left and one for tuning right, though. Oh well. So, based on the direction, we return a value. Return 6. We don't even need the break. Return 2. Return 8. And return 4. Okay, now we can just say get rotation based on the original direction, and we get the new direction. For example, if you are facing up and we'd say turn left, we will get 4. Now we need to make the same one for turning right now, because if you turn right, it's not 4, it's 6. Though we can go case by case, right? For example, if you are turning down and you turn left, you go 6 or 4. I think it's simple if we just make one case by case. So rotate left and rotate right. Right, it's... Wait, to be fair, there's an easier formula for this. Wait. Look at this magic. Function get rotation left right is get rotation left subtracted to 10, because since left is 4 and right is 6, if we subtract 6 from 10 we get 4. If we subtract 6 from 10 you get 4, and if you subtract 8 from 10 you get 2, which is the opposite again. So that's our answer. Return. Okay. That's magic. We found a formula at least. Okay. So, now that we have this, if check side is 1, we get direction is get rotation right of direction. Otherwise, if check side is -1, we check on its left. Okay. So we can do something similar maybe for event next tile region ID. We pass the parameter as well. Okay, now hopefully we can do it directly in the game. Let's see. So here's the payload. If we type event next region ID 1, we get 1 because it's the next tile. If we say 1, 1, it will say 0 because it will try to check the tile on its right, which is empty. Why did you stop? Okay, because we have the breakpoints. Okay, it works. Now, let's see if the magic works. We want it to move. So, movement route of... We can have a parallel event. You know what? It could be a parallel process on the cart itself. Let's see. The cart, instead of defining the cart for every map, we can just copy paste it and just have a common event run instead. Payload on parallel. So this event will move forward. Of course, there's a limit for it. Let's see it for now. Okay. Okay, way too fast. Oh, wait, no, it derailed already. Lowest speed. Let's see. I think it's fine, right? It's still derailing. That's because we are not checking anything, right? It's only moving forward. So what we need to do is, first, we check the current tile. So event tile region ID of 1. If it's 1, then it continues. Normal process. Just to be fancy, we can divide everything in multiple functions. For example, if it's 1, it goes straight ahead. If it's 2, it will U-turn, turn back. And if it's 3, it's how it's called, the fork. If it's 3, it will choose one of the 2 in the fork. Okay. Now we can just work on this one, the straight ahead. If it's 1, it means the tile is the one where you want to continue going forward. So before doing anything else, we need to check, we need to find the next direction, right? So we first need to check if the event tile, the next event tile is, I want to say in a range. Let's see. We can have, because we want to move forward if there's a 1, but also if there's a 3 or a 2. Well, to be fair, when there's a 2, we may want to turn around right away. So for now, we only want the number. Yeah, to be fair, the number 2 needs to be checked here. So we can just turn around one tile before. Instead, if the number is a 1 or a 3, for now we can only make 1 and 3, then it goes straight ahead. If it's not, we need to check left and right. Priority to the forward. Then we check the left, and we made it easy by putting a -1 here. And the right, we just put a 1. And if the left is ready, it turns around by 90 degrees left and moves forward. Otherwise, we do the same on the other side. We turn 90 degrees right and we move forward. And this should suffice. Let's see the magic. Okay, why is the payload not moving now? What's wrong with the payload? Straight ahead. If it's 1, okay, there is something wrong and it's not with my world map. Maybe, no, it doesn't get the number 2, right? Payload magic, I swear. Let's see what happens. Doesn't even run? What did I do? Event region ID. Ah, it starts on a 2! Okay, my bad. It starts on the number 2, that's why. Number 2 is not included anywhere in the calculation. And here it's moving, let's see the magic. Come on, payload. No! Derailed again. Oh, it did stop before now. Ah, because there is a number which is not neither 2 or 1. Does it matter? No. Oh well. It did not turn right. I did not turn left. Let's see. Next time, legend ID. Wait, we also may want, instead of the number 1, put this event. We can do it later though. First, what's the issue here? Turn left and 1 step forward. Ah, Ah, it has direction fix. My bad. Also, just for the sake of testing, let's make it faster. Look at this! Look at my boy going! Look at the payload! Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, it stopped, but we need to calculate that it stopped. Why it stops, so it can take damage. My boy needs to suffer. Before, though, as I said, we might want to parameterize this thing, because this one refers to the event number 1, but in other maps, the payload may not be always number 1. Hey, that means we need to reference the same event. This event ID. Same here. And same logic here. I think we can make it easier here. We can have like 13.contains. I'm not saying it's more readable, but we need to only type it once. Now we see if this container, one of 3, contains the number of the terrain tag. In simple words, we check if the result is 1 or 3. Same here, event ID -1 and event ID 1. Oh yeah, even here. Okay, now we have it moving. Moving. We may want to work on the roadblocks, right? Or first we want the camera to work with him. I don't really want the camera to just stay on the thing, right? I believe we can make that. It would be better if the camera stays aligned to an axis, but it will follow exactly the other axis. Like, for example, even if it goes left, it doesn't move the camera. But if it goes up, it will follow it perfectly. So what do we do here? We can just focus on... I wonder if I make the player invisible, it will mess up with any movement. Like if I start here, but the player is transparent, I believe it will still stop someone, right? Fork 2. Not really a fork, but fork 2. I spawned there. Okay, I'm cheating. Do I still spawn there? I thought it was random. Okay, I'm cheating. What's the deal, Waldorf? Why do you spawn here? Remove the spawn points. Maybe add more there. Okay. Here I am. Let's see. Oh, I clicked. Ah, I'm body blocking the payload. Did they mess up the payload? No, it's not working anymore. Huh. Why? I thought I had it right. Wait, I think I messed up. Yeah. I put the one in the wrong position. It's inside this parentheses, not outside. Lesson for the kids, do not go outside. Stay home. Now the payload is working nice. Can I body block it? No, awesome. Can I body block me? No, okay, so we can have the player work as the axis, as the main focus. We don't even need a camera plugin then. Do we? I think it would be better to edit the plugin of the camera for it, but... It's way better if we don't focus on the payload. It might get messy visually. So... I believe the best way to do it is to make an event that replicates the movement of the payload, yeah. We can have... Yeah, we can have an event that replicates the movement of the payload. Oh. We can have the player even. Even better, we don't need an ID. And we don't need a plugin for the camera even. So, let's see. Movement root of the player. Let's fix it as true and on. And of course, based on the map, we need to decide which direction. First up, we need to align it. And we define the base coordinates. There should be an initializer. Something that initializes it. So... we can go with a self switch. I kinda want it to be repeatable though. So wait, what is the issue? I already forgot. Yeah, we want to match the coordinates. So we can have a check every loop. While moving or before? It should be parallel though. I realize it should be parallel. Because if we move it, there's a wait. We want to wait. We could make a parallel event, yeah. We can have it here. Align camera. So what do we do is well, first maybe we should save the ID of the payload, just to be sure. Where do we save it? We can have it in a variable. I don't know how many variables we need, but just to be sure. And we can have payload event ID, just to be sure, which is the event ID of this thing. Okay, it will run every movement, but it doesn't matter. Okay. So the align camera, how does it work? Well, first we check if the variable is not 0, just to be sure. Otherwise we mess up anything. And we should still wait a little before starting, right? Because I don't want... I think this is a little messy. Because if this runs after, it will mess up everything. We should reset the payload ID every time, to be fair. So we don't keep the old ID and we move anything else. Though even if it happens, it only happens for like one step. So if it happens, it's noticeable, but not a big deal. So now when we have the payload event ID, what do? We need first to know if we are aligned vertically or horizontally. Though in any case, we're just checking coordinates. Let's see. We can make a branch. So game player dot y. If the game player y is more than the event of the payload, which is game map events ID, where the ID is stored in the game variable. Number 101, if I remember right. 102. My bad. So, if we are lower than the payload, we just move as the payload. We move one step up. While for the movement speed should be for now slower. We can set it up here. Meanwhile, if we are in the other direction, we just do the opposite. We move down. And if everything matches, we just wait 3 frames to avoid messing up. Let's see now. I don't see anything happening. Well, to be fair, because the camera is still low, right? Maybe while going up, we will see some difference. I'm not seeing any difference though. Also, we can freely move. We can have it as a condition though. If it's not... Ah, yeah, because this thing is not running. This thing is not running. We can have it as a condition, to be fair. We can... so we can also avoid mistouches. If the player is aligned, we don't do anything. And the player cannot even move. Okay, and this thing runs in parallel. We can have it as a parallel process, like here. So, when the map runs, even better, we can run it here. So we don't even need to be worried about the order of operations, because we activate this one only when the value is defined. Let's see. We should make it faster. Or make it start here, even better. I don't see any change. We cannot move though. So it works partially at least. What's the issue? Oh, my bad. If the pilot event ID is 0, we interrupt. I still don't see any difference. Taken player. Ah, because we are not getting any information out of this. .y. Here. Now maybe. Maybe the player is not able to move through walls. Just to be sure, let's make the player visible this time. Okay, it just needs to be slower. Maybe now it will align. I believe it works, yeah. I believe it works. The payload moves and we are not forced to focus it. Though, of course, I could just... No, I would like a map where you don't just go up. At some point you go right. Though we need to focus later on how to center the camera on a specific axis. For now it only goes vertically. Should we work on multiple directions? I believe we do, yeah. The player needs to be focusing on a specific direction though. Let's see. We can have a variable for that. Camera line 1 x 2 y. I would even say z, but there is no z. So we can make that if no, if the variable is 2, we are moving on the y-axis. Otherwise, if it's 1, we are moving on the x-axis. So we will change the formula here a little. If the player x is more than the payload x, we move right, left. Otherwise, if we overshoot it, we move right, as I said before. Okay, and otherwise we don't move. Same. That means we need to define it here. And this is defined every map by map. We also want to define the specific axis we will be moving to, but that only is necessary when we have a L-shaped dungeon. For now, it's fine. Let's see. Look at the payload going. Oh yeah, bonk. How much time? Only 1 hour and 20. I would stop here, but we can have just this extra thing. We can make first the broken track. Just because it doesn't require extra items or memorizing anything. So how does the broken track work? Good question, I don't know. Well, first it needs to be identifiable. So we can have repair. Though if there are more than one, we can have, if there is more than one, it should go to the earliest one, but that's a hassle to program. We can just have repair 1. So here, repair 1. So we can go here. The problem is, like, the payload kind of ignores it. So we need to make an extra check here. Also, we may want the difficulty. For now, it's 1. So we worry about the payload later. For now, let's see if we can make it work. So we know that if we go here, we can trigger anything. We need a health bar for this. Never mind, it's not this easy. How do we... Is there like a plugin for a health bar on the map? Maybe it's easier. Bar on map. Not HP bar. Progress bar, maybe? Not the one I want. It's the on the event. Bars on event. Maybe this one is better. RPG action combat. It's not really combat, but could make sense. Would be really cool a progress event. progress bar on the thing, right? Maybe Donkey Kong will help us. Not the one I wanted. I don't think there is one. Yeah, no, I don't think there is one. Though making one from scratch is definitely not easy. Transform variables in a UHD var. Okay, better, but like I wonder how to lock them on an event. Event progress bar? Maybe this one? Okay. Not really the one. I don't think it's focused on the event. Seems like focused on the screen. This is better than what I was looking for, but oh no, this is. I know what game this is. But you also need to stop that it's devilish. Ah, okay. Well, I also see this one. How do you even follows the cursor? Maybe. No, what do we even need to press? I don't know how it works. Though I believe this one is not focused on events. You know what would help? Having maybe a percentage, right? We can change the name of the event maybe and have a percentage. Repair 1, 6-7%, for example. Is it doable? Let's see. So, if I get game map dot events, I get event number repair, which is the number 8. Here it is. We have repair 1. What if I change the name now? Did not change. Maybe because like it never changes, so it doesn't refresh. Ah no, I did not save. Huh? Maybe I cannot change it. I definitely changed it. And it updates! Oh, that's huge. That's huge. We can just update the name. We don't even need a bar. We can have like something repair 6-7%. And here it is. Okay. Now it's important that it stays above every character that goes there to repair it, right? Otherwise you don't even say the number. Well, first we're gonna work on showing the number. So we get game map events and we get label text. Is label text the same of the event ID? What if I type let me see. Does it still work if I type the name of the event? It does. It does. So nice. It doesn't even overwrite the actual name of the event. That's perfect. Repair 1 again, let's see. Okay, okay. That's delightfully delicious. Now, did I copy what I needed? Okay, I did. Label, kinda, okay. What we want to do now is, when someone goes there, we trigger... How do we make it work? When someone goes there, we trigger something. I want it to be a self-parallel process, but the thing is, when a character reaches an event, it triggers it. And I need it to be triggerable, not a parallel process. We could make an exception for those, but we can have another event work as the parallel here. I think it's better. Though it's case by case, I don't like it. We need to... I really want it to be able to copy and paste it. So I don't have to set up another event that is referencing this one. No. Just to make it easier for me for the future. So another idea. We can have multiple common events. To be fair, we can have I have an idea. Wait, I have an idea. We can use a trick. We can have that it goes with a trigger, but it goes in autorun. Though there's the issue that I believe I don't know. What happens if something stops the execution of everything and you do something else? I believe it won't work. So the thing needs to be a single trigger. Maybe a single trigger that activates a common event. Yeah, a trigger that activates a common event. That means still we have to go with multiple common events. But I believe it's the better way. So let's go here. Repair 1. Is there no better way? Is there no better way? I think it will work. So we can even go with matching variables. Well, not really. So how does it work? When we activate repair 1, it will activate this thing. And it will gradually increase the value. Let's see. We should just... no, it's fine. So what does it do is changing the value of that specific event. How do we know the event ID? Good question. For now, we don't care. We just say what name was it? Came up events _ label text. Okay. So the label text will become repair 1%. Okay, so we just need to calculate the percentage every time. How much is the percentage? I suppose it increases every certain amount of frames. So, do we need a variable for? I think we can just go with a variable, with a global value. Though I think it's just more practical with this. We can even... No, I think we still need switches to activate the parallel process. Repair 1. It should set to 0 when it starts, but after that we add 1 every something. We will have an arbitrary weight. Let's say for now 4 frames. And let's see. Oh wait, it doesn't start. To start it we need to call the common event repair 1. No, we don't need to call it. We need to activate the switch. Repair 1 here. Now if we type repair 1 and we go there, we're gonna start repairing. Maybe. I forgot to assign the variable. It's literally the value of the variable 121. Repair 1. Repair, come on. Here it is. And it's repairing, look at this. The payload doesn't care though. The payload doesn't care. Also it goes above 100. Okay, can you stop it? It's pretty repaired. So 2 issues. After those we stop. First, it just goes through. Second, it goes above 100. But for the one above 100, it's simple. We can just have a conditional branch. And if the value is more than 100, we stop. We can deactivate the switch. And we need to know how it's repaired. Now it will stop at 100. Well, there is a third problem, which is the tag should be above the players. I don't know how to make it work. We should check the plugin for that. Movement, event label. Let's see. Visibility, position. Maybe the Z. Maybe the priority is important. How do we set up an important parameter? How do you set up even the Z of the thing? Okay, it gets the event tag, right? Ah no, it gets the literal Z tag. Gets the literal Z of the event. So it depends I see. It depends on the event itself. I don't know how to give the event some priority. Find meta value. Label Z. We can just force it then, right? Let's see if we can do it. So game up event dot find meta. This one? Find meta plugin manager X. Is this a thing? I believe it's a thing. Okay, plug image find meta value of the event of the thing. We need to check data property LBS. I don't know if it works like this. I was just improvising. I was very improvising. LBS. Can we just force it on the event itself? Let me see. Not now, Waldorf, not now. Okay. Now if we say events 8 and we look for that Z. No, it's not even a parameter. It's a scam. It doesn't seem to have a parameter. Blend mode, direction, nothing. Map ID, move route. Ah, there's also original direction. That's a cool detail. Pre-lock direction. That's what's important, I suppose. No, we don't have anything. Disappointing. Maybe it's a parameter not of the events of the map, but of the event itself. Maybe it's another thing we should read. Where is it? Game map event here. I believe this one is another sort of data, right? Event 8. Looks like the same to me. It's the same. Yeah, because it's not data map. Data map is even another thing. How do you know the... Wait, Trouble Z, here it is. Here it is, priority. Priority. So we can just force the label Z to a very high number. We got it. We got this. I'm lost. Okay. So we can just have event dot label Z equal quadruple 4 because someone likes it. And just to make it simple, we split the thing and we read it better. Maybe. Now let's see. Let's repair one. And it starts repairing. Look at this. Again, it does not stop when we want. That's not a super simple thing. Also, we want the repairing to not be like this fast. We also may want multiple collaborators. So we want the speed. We want the speed of the repair, so we need a second parameter. No, not really. We can just calculate how many people are on this spot. Instead of having a flat number 1. Hey. Okay, I have a slight idea for that, but maybe next time. For now. To do. Make a... Make based on people there. Because if there are 10 people, it will not increase by 10. It will increase by 1 in a less longer time, in a shorter time. Okay, so the last issue we want to solve is the payload needs to stop if there is an event in front. So, instead of moving it forward, we move it forward after and we just turn it. So we can, so it's easier to read. So if the next tile is a 1, we should activate a switch just to be sure, right? But I believe we covered most of the scenarios here. So, if it's in front, awesome. If it's not, we turn. But at the end of the day, we are turned towards the right direction. So we just move a step forward and we are there. Before we move though, we need to make the check. And here we return to the utility calls. We want to get the event next tile event ID. We don't want to check sides here. And we want first to get the next tile coordinates, and then we get the event ID in that section. There is an issue though, which is, what if there are multiple events on that one? I believe I already covered that. And we just need to take the one with the lowest number. And I think it does it by default, because everything that spawns is a higher number. So I don't think it's an issue. Though, who knows? Worst case, it will not stop. So we just need to know what to call. And hopefully it's not Ghostbusters. Where was I? I'm lost. Aha! Event ID. Map info. Region ID. Here. Event ID XY. Event ID XY. And hopefully it will return the one of the thing to repair. So now we can just have the condition here. And we put event next tile event ID. And that is this event ID. And here we will get the ID of the thing on the ground. If it's... Wait. We don't do much with an ID, right? We need to know what it does. So we need to check if the name starts with something. With label. So how was it called? I had it here. Label text. So if label text starts with repair, that means we are kinda stuck. And we can even make that it makes a sound and it stops. Let's see, sound effect, break. And it stops. Here we can even make a wait of 1 second or even more. So when it repairs, it gets a random interval where it doesn't move. It continues checking until it's repaired. So when it's 100%, we can just have the label text becomes fixed. Or we can even make it disappear. Though if it changes name, it means it does not anymore stop the card. Starts with I'm missing a H, right? Starts with. Did I write it right? No. How do you write with? It was right. Starts with. That I wrote it right. I swear it's right. Starts with. Maybe something doesn't have a label text. Maybe there's not even an event. Oh yeah, sometimes it's not even an event. We can do something like this. So here, first we save. Next payload tile event is the thing, the other thing. Okay. And we can have, I have an idea. Next pilot tile event text is, this is the event. We can have a second parameter which is directly an empty string. So if the next payload tile event is more than 0, it means we have something, and only then we are gonna add the value to the string. Okay, so now, or it's empty if there's nothing, or it has the name of the event that is about there. Hello, Wind Raider, welcome, how is going? Stopping a little bit to say hi. Oh, that's cool, thanks, I appreciate it. We are just about to finish a payload where the chat repairs it. Wanna give it a try? For now it's still easy, but the chaos is after. I'm not even sure if it works now. I just need to, here I set up the parameter. Now, I just need to check if the text starts with repair. If it is, means that the card is about to get broken. Here, for example, it should stop when it reaches this point. It literally crashed. Literally cannot read properties of undefined. But I defined it here. How? Yeah, I need to make it global. My bad. I forgot to make it global. I also used with JavaScript. Looks like wizardry to me. First, let's see if it works, and then you will see the true wizardry. Let's see. Still a problem. I disappeared from the game. Yeah, every time I relaunch it, it resets the character inside. It's intended to be played without closing, so it's mostly a nuisance for testing. Next payload tile event, I swear. It should get the event. Let's try it on the console. Cannot read of direction. Ah, yeah, I forgot to put a parameter here. 1. Okay, and now if I type next payload event, it's a string. If I say starts with, I get false, so it should not crash. I'm confused. Event text. I swear, what's your issue, game? Alert. This thing. And after this, you stop everything because otherwise the game will not close. Empty. Ah, even on launch? No, I'm just confused. It's greater than 0. It should default into an empty string. So I don't get it why. This thing is another thing. Where... though... That's right. Because if it's more than 0, it will read the parameter. But if it doesn't have a parameter, it's still an issue. So we can have if the parameter is still undefined, or I believe we can just make a check like this. We make it to an empty string. So hopefully it's fine now. I should make it faster. Okay, every step it checks. Interesting, so it tells that the string is empty. This debug is not important, but let's see. The debug window is not important, but it didn't crash, but didn't even stop. Why didn't it stop? Starts with repair, and here it is, repair. It's literally called repair. You missing a dollar. There are two variables. One is with a dollar, but they are different. Dollar is because it's global. Can be called anywhere on RPG Maker. Though if I try to call it without being defined, it crashes the game. So can be a little dangerous. But we saw that it did not call the right thing. Label text. I believe we should make this one on an actual function, so we can see it ourselves. The new frontier of RPG Maker testing is here. We can just make it here and check it whenever we want. Let's see. Now we can just open it here, go in the sources, and where is it? Here. And literally see what the hell the code does. Okay, so it stops here. I kinda want to have more space. Okay. We don't need it for a while. Wait a little. We should make it faster, but okay. Now. Stops here. And this is the one, right? So. It gets the next event. Which is the 8. So we are there. Defaults to empty. Now it's a value. So we get label text, which is undefined. Yeah, oh yes, because I'm checking the information of a number. No, we need to use the number to get the information. I get my mistake. Here we are just getting the information of a number. This is 8. 8 doesn't have any information. We need to get information of the event of those coordinates. Game up events ID of those coordinates. From there we get the label text. Also, just to make it more bearable, be faster. Okay. Let's see the payload now. Please payload. Oh, it stopped! Look, it stopped! Though it plays multiple times the crash, but it's not important. Now, I want to stop the stream, but first we need to test it. And wanna help me? If you type prepare one, you're gonna wait. Let's make it slower so we can have some emphasis. Okay, if you type prepare one, you will start repairing it. Look at this! Yes! Look at the numbers go up! Yeah, okay, this is way too easy though. Win fixed game. That's your full name now. Win fixed game. It's important that it's called fixed now, the piece on the ground, because now the payload will not recognize a block anymore. And it goes. You saved the payload. Congratulations. There's another issue there, but that's for another day. Congratulations, you saved the payload! We owe you. Next time I will make it harder. Amazing stuff, I know. Would be cool if players like play that dungeon. I kinda want it to be the main mechanic for every dungeon because that's the best way to focus the camera. Otherwise I don't know how to manage the camera, so to solve the solution, to solve this issue, I introduced a new mechanic. I will also have items you can grab and clean stuff around, I don't know. Block monsters. There's plenty of stuff to do. And I can ban people when they fail. No, I'm kidding for that. I'm kidding. I hope to off. Okay, it is reasonable because I was about to stop as well. See you later, Wizard Waldorf. Oh yeah. I should actually record this wizardry and show it to Nova. Or in the Nova server. Because I believe they like this stuff. Okay, let's see who we can raid. Because we also have the automatic raid, because why not? Let's see. Not League of Legends, please. We can go to Meowie. Let's go to Meowie. Okay. That's everything for today. So, tomorrow we are gonna play a Cryptipedia game. Next week we are gonna resume the stuff and we are gonna, I believe, make items to cleanse stuff like fire to melt ice and still work more on the repairing because it needs like the tweaking on difficulty to make it slower when it's harder and requiring more people even. And I need to find a way to avoid using too many variables. Oh well, that's everything for today. Thanks a lot for coming by and we'll see ya whenever it happens.